Hey guys, what's going on? Okay, so I'm gonna do another top 10 video, but this one is well, kind of like the last one. It's gonna be a little different from what most people would do with a top 10 video. This one is in fact 10 great movies that you, the viewer, may not know anything about. You may not have ever heard of them, or maybe you've heard of them and you've never seen them or anything like that. But I have seen all of the movies on this list that I made, and some of them I absolutely 100% love. Great movies. I mean, well, in all honesty, they're all really great movies. Some of them mean a little bit more to me than others, but we'll jump into this right now. So we're going to go in alphabetical as far as categories go. So the first category that I did was action. And for action movie, I picked a movie called Best of the Best. What is Best of the Best? I've never heard of that, Chris. All right. I'm glad you said that. Best of the Best is a movie that came out in the 80s, I think mid to late 80s. I don't really remember what the date was when it came out, but it is a martial art movie. Not to the point where it's like, some guy going up against super secret agents or whatever. No, it's a martial art, like a tournament movie. Like, these are people that are in an actual tournament. And no, it's not like, some blood tournament or some death tournament. No, it's like they're actually fighting, going to the Olympics. So it's got a much stronger feel of realism to it than a lot of other 80s martial art tournament movies do. Those are usually blood sports, I'll just say it. Okay, so Best of the Best has Eric Roberts in it. Good. Philip Ree, also good. Chris Penn, also good. And several other actors, which, I cannot remember their names. However, there was one that I definitely remember his name. James Earl Jones. Yes, he's in this movie. He plays Coach Kuzo, I believe is his last name. It's either Kuso or Kuzo. I think it has a Z in it. Yes, Darth Vader, Mufasa, was Tulsa Doom. Yes, the man is in this movie. And what it is the Americans they have a team that are going up against the Koreans in it's actually in Taekwondo, but in the movie they basically keep saying karate, but it really is Taekwondo. And that's why it's the Americans going up against the Koreans, because Taekwondo is a Korean martial art. But anyways, they go up against the Koreans, and it's, the movie itself is classic 80s schlock. Nobody dies or anything, but, it's, well, actually, no, I take that back. Somebody does die, but you never see it in the movie, because it happens, before the film starts, But, It's a great movie. It's a tearjerker. It is, at least it is for me. Literally every time that I've ever watched the ending to it, I cry. You'll have to see the movie. There's a scene at the very, very end between the main hero, who is in fact not Eric Roberts, it's Philip Ree, and then the character, the bad guy that he's going up. I cannot remember the actor's name. However, the name of the character is Daehan. They have a moment at the end, and I fucking cry every time I see it. I don't know why. I just can't help it. I always cry. I highly recommend it. Best of the Best. If nothing else, you can just check it out to say, hey, I saw James Earl Jones in yet another movie. There you go. Good stuff. Next, we're going to go to classic movie. This is a movie that would be before the 70s. I don't know. I don't really know what constitutes being a classic, but I do have a good one. The classic movie that I love this movie, is called The Mask of the Red Death. The Mask of the Red Death was a story that was written by Edgar Allan Poe. In the movie, which from what I've heard sticks pretty close to the book, in the movie, the main character in the story is Prince Prospero, and he is played by Vincent Price in the movie. Wow. All right. Already, thumbs up for that. Vincent Price is he was awesome. Always awesome. What is the Mask of the Red Death? Well, mask, it's not M-A-S-K, it's M-A-S-Q-U-E, as in masquerade. Not mask, like I got a thing on. It's a very difficult thing to just come out and explain in like a few sentences, but essentially what it is there is a plague that's hitting this nation, and the prince, who is a Satan worshiper, he confines himself to his castle, and he has pretty much all of the top lords and ladies and dukes and duchesses and whatever the fuck rank they are. I don't even know, because Prospero sounds Italian to me, but I don't know what the hell country it's supposed to be off the top of my head. But all these, influential, powerful people, they stay at the castle to avoid the plague. And the plague itself is, I believe, called the Red Death. And while everybody's there, Prospero does this whole thing where, yeah, Satan is great, down with God, all this other crap. And it's just like, okay, well, if that's what you want to believe, go for it. But he's pretty much like, you can't stay there unless you are the devout satanic worshiper. So if you aren't, or if he just doesn't like you, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it'll just come down to whatever the fuck he's feeling that particular moment. He might throw your ass out. And then you die. He has a masquerade there, and during the masquerade, he forbids anybody to wear the color red because of the Red Death. And a stranger shows up wearing full-on red, with actually a mask, M-A-S-K at the mask, M-A-S-Q-U-E. He shows up, and he is in fact a hand of death, and he pretty much wipes everybody out in there. So they invited him in. It's really interesting. I love the movie. Absolutely love that movie. If you get a chance to see it, watch it. Next, we're going to do comedy. There's actually like 19 bajillion movies that I could put on this list that I have seen that a lot of people maybe haven't seen. And in this one, I picked Blazing Saddles. I know a lot of you have already seen it, but there might be some of you, particularly younger people, who haven't seen it. So, Shayla's raising her hand. She's sick over here, but she's laying in bed and she's listening to me do a video and she's raising her hand. She has not seen Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles is a Mel Brooks film. Mel Brooks is a master of comedy, and especially doing parodies of shows. Have you ever seen, I'm saying this to Shayla, not to you, have you ever seen that movie Robin Hood Men in Tights? Do you know that movie? Yeah. It was done by Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks was in the movie, too. He played Friar Tuckman, even though the character is supposed to be Friar Tuck. He played Friar Tuckman, which, because Mel Brooks is a Jew, he always shows up as a Jew in every movie, somehow. Anyways, Blazing Saddles, back to that. What's going on in Blazing Saddles? Blazing Saddles is a comedy starring Cleavon Little as Sheriff Bart, and Gene Wilder as the Waco Kid. And it's a Western. It's a comedy Western. And it's set in the 1880s, something like that. Back when black folk were really popular with white people. And in order to get... I don't know how to put it. In order to get shit moving along where they can get all these people to move out of the town, so the main bad guy, Harvey Korman, or that's his real name, he played Headley Lamar. He wants to take over this town because he's going to run a railroad right through it. So you got to get all the people out of the fucking town. So how do you get all the people out of town? You make it so they don't want to live there. How do you make it so they don't want to live there? You give them a black sheriff. Problem solved. Because, as I said, in the 1880s, white people were so fond of black people. They loved them. So that's what they do. Cleavon Little, it becomes Sheriff Bart. He's the sheriff for the town. Right off the bat, nobody wants him there. Imagine that. And Gene Wilder, playing the Waco Kid, is a drunk who basically lives in the jail cell and also in a bottle. And he's the only person in the entire town who's actually friendly, Really friendly. I mean, right off the bat, they just hit it off. They're like best of friends. One of the funniest fucking movies I've ever seen, hands down. In the very early parts of the movie, you see Sheriff Bart is recanting his story as to how it is that he got out there, and he was saying that his mother, his dad, and him, he was little baby Bart, they were in a wagon heading west, and they were taken. They were accosted, I guess, by. I think in his words he said the entire Sioux Nation, which would be a lot of Indians, a whole lot. But the funny part about it is that when you see two Indians come up to the wagon, one of them is Mel Brooks. You've heard of blackface. In this, he's wearing red face. As somebody who is part Indian, normally you would feel fairly upset about something like that. However, because it's Mel Brooks, I don't give a shit. It was funny as hell. He was speaking in the native Sioux language, which apparently in this movie sounds very much like what a Sephardic Jew would speak, or what is that other language? I don't know. There's something that Jewish people speak, and that's how he was speaking, and it was just fucking hilarious. It was beautiful. I love the way he did it. Whole movie, fantastic. Great comedy between great chemistry, I should say, between Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little. Really great. I mean, those two work together like they nailed it. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, check out Blazing Saddles. It is totally worth it. There's also a lot of fart jokes in that movie. There's a whole scene that's just dedicated to fart jokes. It's for thinkers. Okay, next is fantasy movie. What is a fantasy movie that you guys, the viewers, those who do check out my YouTube channel, a movie that you guys may not have seen or even heard of. There is a little movie that is called Legend that is fantastic. It is an incredibly well put together movie. The main hero is Jack. He's played by Tom Cruise, a very young Tom Cruise. The main, or his lady love, his love interest is Lily, played by Mia Sara. Absolutely fucking gorgeous, beautiful girl. The main bad guy in the movie is Darkness, and he's played by Tim Curry. And if you look at it, no chance in hell would you ever guess that that's Tim Curry. There's no chance in hell. The prosthetic makeup on him is just unreal. They said that it took every day for him to get into the outfit, to the suit. Took 5 hours. Wow, that is dedication. And one day, I read this that he was getting really tired of it taking so long to get out of the suit. Because they were done wrapping, or they were done shooting. They were wrapping the day. And rather than waiting for this, he had to apply this special solvent to his skin, because the suit is literally on his skin. Rather than do that, he just started pulling the suit off, and it ripped off most of the skin on his, I think his back, or possibly his arms. I don't remember, but it was bad, really bad. They spent the next whole week shooting around him. That's something else that I read online, so I was like, wow. Okay, what is Legend? I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I love the movie. I've seen it so many times. How do I explain it? Jack, Tom Cruise, is like a guy that lives in a forest. I don't know. He's a forest kid. He looks kind of like Peter Pan, but with longer, shaggier hair and not as young. Huh?
I Am Legend?
No, not I Am Legend. Legend.
Oh.
I Am Legend is the movie with Will Smith. Yeah. No. He's like a forest kid. Whatever. Lily, his girlfriend, is, I don't know, she wears white a lot. She runs around in the forest. I don't know what the fuck the setting is because it doesn't really explain why we are here, what's going on here. But all kinds of forest shit, like Spriggans, it's a tree monster, imps, fairies, goblins, all this shit it exists. And essentially what it is that, oh, and there's unicorns. And unicorns are the good guys, and then literally everything else is a bad guy. Everything else is a bad guy. Everything goes to shit when the Jack, who is friends with the unicorns, he is in love with Lily, and he lets her go up to a unicorn and touch it, like, just on the side of his face. Oh my god, don't let that shit happen. No, because what happens is one of them, like, they just go crazy. They don't hurt anybody, but they go fucking nuts. And it throws the cosmos off or some shit. I don't know. It throws everything off balance. Anyways, bad guys, led by Darkness, again, Tim Curry, they take this opportunity to catch one of the unicorns because the other one is going crazy bug nuts. So they do. They capture it, and I guess what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut off its horn and use it for something. I don't know why. No, actually, I think one of them does cut off the horn. It's hard to remember. It's very convoluted. I don't understand the story, but it's fantastic to look at. All of the effects in it, all of the outfits, the monsters, it's all practical effects. And you guys know me, I love practical effects. So, practical effects are effects that are not CGI, for those of you that don't know. It's actually somebody there wearing a mask or a suit or a costume, whatever. That's what it is. That's what they did in the movie. It was all practical effects. Anyways, Darkness is trying to get Lily to kind of join up with him, be on his side, because really what he loves to do is corrupt people. And she is seen as being the most pure-hearted, beautiful, lovely, wonderful human being there is. So he's taking it upon himself to marry her, and how he's going to do that is corrupting her. And Jack ain't having none of that shit. No. He teams up with a bunch of, I don't know if they're dwarves or... One of them an elf. One of them is an elf, I believe. He's called the Gump. And I believe he's an elf. Probably. He's tiny. He looks like a kid. But, well, actually, the actor playing him was a kid. But he's got little pointy ears. So I'm assuming elf. And he forms together his ragtag band of I don't know, good guys, whatever the fuck it is. However you'd say it in the 80s. And they go in. And they intend to beat the shit out of Darkness, get Lily back, rescue the unicorns, and everybody lives happily ever after. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what happens, because this is all about me telling you about movies so you can go watch them. So you should watch it. It is a great movie. It's a lot of fun. A little hard to totally follow here and there, but still totally worth it. Next, we are going to move on to foreign film. A foreign film. Chris has some kind of class. Okay. And my foreign film is a Japanese movie, obviously. It is a Japanese movie called Tampopo. Tampopo translates to dandelion. And this movie is all about dandelions. No, it's not. It's not even close. No. It's not about... It's a woman's name in the movie. Her name is... The name of the character is Tampopo. So her name is literally Dandelion. Anywho, so what is it about? This movie is about food. Pure and simple. That is it. It is about food. This is one of the few movies that I will give, like, right off the bat, a warning before you watch it. Don't watch this movie on an empty stomach. You will be fucking starving by 10 minutes into the film, because it's all food. Fantastic food, too. It's all Japanese food, but it looks so good. And you will be hungry as hell. I mean it. So what's happening in the movie? This is one of those movies that's kind of like, Pulp Fiction, where they had different vignettes going on, and this was going on here, and this is going on over here, and this is going on over here, and whatever, you get it. This is the same thing, in a way. There's, I don't know, like 5, 6 different little stories going on. But the main story is about Tampopo. And what's going on is her husband owned a ramen noodle, like, little house or little shop, but it looks like a house. It probably is a house. She probably lives there, but it's like a little ramen, place where you go in to get it. And his noodles, I believe, were okay. And a guy, a truck driver, his character's name is Goro, and he's the only one that I can remember his character's name. He comes in, he's wearing a big black cowboy hat, like a big 10-gallon cowboy hat, and he is somehow magically one of the world's greatest, like, ramen noodle connoisseurs or something like that. I mean, he doesn't make them, but he knows how, and it's like his noodles are some of the best noodles that you'll ever get anywhere. And he tries hers, and he's just like, well, yeah, that was crap. Thank you. Here's the money. I'll be leaving. And she, Tampopo, is absolutely, she's a wonderful, sweet, beautiful woman, and she just breaks down into tears. She's like, oh, God, this is all I have, I don't know what to do. And eventually she talks him into helping her learn how to become a master ramen noodle maker. I don't know. I guess chef. Chef is good. But he can't do it alone. No. Because there's so much that goes into making ramen. So, there's maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 other guys that they kind of have to travel all throughout Japan looking for and talking to and getting information. And it's the story of her learning, from all these people. Oh, well, this guy makes the greatest broth ever. And this guy knows the best way to do the sliced pork, and this guy does the best noodles, and this guy does the greatest, I don't know, whatever the fuck, vegetables. I don't know. Everybody does something. So the whole point of it is that she meets all these guys, and she starts working with them all, learning their tricks and trades. I mean, they know they're not. It's not like they're learning this shit secretly. No, Goro was telling them, no, we are going to teach her to become the greatest. So she gets all of the knowledge and puts it together into one mega bowl of ramen, and essentially that's what the whole point of it is. And by the end she makes, for like these 6 guys, 6 bowls of ramen, identical, for them all to try, and everybody at the end is like, fuck yeah, now you're getting it. So yeah, as I said, do not watch this on an empty stomach. You will be starving 10 minutes in. It's just food. Non-stop food. This is also one of the few movies I've ever seen. No, actually, this is probably the only movie that I've ever seen where they actually kill an animal on screen, and it's not, I've seen movies where they kill bugs. Nobody gives a shit about bugs because there's like 10 trillion more of them. But no, they kill an animal. They kill, excuse me, they kill a turtle. A big turtle too. The shell must have been this big at least. They kill a turtle because one of the characters is going to make turtle soup, and they show you he cuts its neck and it bleeds out real quick, and then they don't show you the whole process of him making it, but you just get the gist of it. But they actually show him killing a turtle, and I always kind of thought, wow, that's not fake, that's real. Holy shit. Okay. I didn't think they were allowed to do that, but apparently you are in Japan, I guess. Anyways, yeah, so if you have anything for turtles, you may want to at least skip that scene, but still watch the movie. And again, when you're hungry, don't watch it, because it will not help. It's going to make it worse. There's a little side story going on with a guy. I guess he's Yakuza. I don't know. He's definitely a gangster, so I'm assuming he's probably part of the Yakuza. And he and his girlfriend are just big time connoisseurs of food. they make out and they use food while they're doing it. The whole movie, like everything he's doing, there's always something about food. They go to the movie theaters and they're bringing in like this amazing setup of food, and like he is shot and he's gonna die and all that. He starts talking to her about food. He's laying there and he's bleeding out and he's like, just so you know, the best time to hunt for wild boar in the mountains is like, I don't know, fall or something like that. And she's like, why? And he's like, because that's the time that they've usually finished eating all of the sweet potatoes in the area. The sweet potatoes are stuck in their intestines, and therefore it spreads the flavor out into the meat. And I'm sitting there watching this shit, you know, and I'm just like, God damn, now I want a fucking sweet potato. And I want pork. Fuck! So, yeah, it's rough. It's a rough one to watch. Make sure you've eaten first. I'm going to cut it here for now, because I did like the first five movies of my top 10 great movies that you may not know about. And I'm going to do a part 2. And the second part will be the other ones. So, I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So, here we go. Hopefully, you will stick around for the second part. All right? All right. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.